everybody, it's Soaping Sunday, and today I want to show you a dinosaur soap that I made yesterday. It's been curing overnight, and it looks so cute. I used the dinosaur embeds that I made last week on Soaping Sunday, and so I put large dinosaurs and baby dinosaurs there, as well as dinosaurs inside. So I cannot wait to cut this. But first, let me show you how I made this, and then we're gonna cut it open and see if I pulled off the design I was hoping would come out. Okay, to make goat milk cold process soap, I start with coconut oil. I measure it out in grams and I melt it down. While that's melting, I measure out castor oil and olive oil. I set that aside and bring back the melted coconut oil to add shea butter to it. The shea butter is measured out, and then I'll melt that down as well. I am measuring out frozen goat milk now from my goat Fancy Nancy, and also measuring out sodium hydroxide, which is called lye. I wipe down my surface because lye granules are caustic, and I want to make sure I don't leave any granules behind. I slowly add the lye to my frozen goat milk, and I use my spatula to stir it up. I make sure I use all of the lye and continue to mix it in until it's completely dissolved. I do keep track of the temperature of the chemical reaction to be sure that it is heating up, so that way I know that the lye is working correctly. I do keep track of temperatures of my oils as well. I want to try to get my oils and my lye to be right around the same temperature. So I'm using my immersion blender to blend the 4 oils together: the olive oil, the castor oil, the coconut oil, and shea butter. I want to make sure I'm using all of the oils because my ingredient ratios have been calculated through soapcalc.com. It's really important to get the measurements correct and the ratios correct in order to have this turn from soap batter into soap. Now that the temperatures are matching up right around 100 degrees, I am going to add the goat milk and lye solution to my oils. I'm scraping every last bit out of there. And then I'll use my immersion blender to blend it really well. I want to make sure that those oils really blend together with the lye and the goat milk so that that chemical reaction can occur. I am now measuring out my essential oils. I went with lavender and cedarwood atlas. I'm going to add those essential oils to my soap batter and blend those in as well. This is going to scent the soap and make it smell really good. Once my soap batter is well mixed, I add a small amount of it to a measuring cup so that I can create a color. I used blue spirulina in one and cocoa powder in another. I'm going to mix up the cocoa powder first and get that really well blended in there. That's going to be the base of the soap, so I want to do that first so I can get it into the mold. Soap batter can thicken up fairly quickly, so I do have to move fast and get this into the mold. I'm using a loaf mold today, and I'm going to use my spatula to help catch any air bubbles and break them up as they land in the soap mold. I'm going to scrape every last bit into there. I'm going to give it a good shake to evenly disperse it and get out any additional air bubbles. Now I'll use my immersion blender to mix the blue spirulina into the soap batter. I'm going for a nice green color, so I make sure to mix that in really well. I wipe the outside of my soap mold, and I am hiding little tiny dinosaurs inside of the cocoa powder soap batter. That way the soap will have a little hidden dinosaur surprise inside. I'm just using a skewer to press them down in there, and I'll try to cover them up just a bit to make sure that the green soap batter doesn't bleed through. Now I am going to give it one final mix of the green soap batter, and then I am going to gently pour it on top of my spatula. I do not want it to break through down into the brown soap batter. I want it to just sit on top, so I have to be careful to not drop it from too high of a height and to have the spatula break the fall. I'm going to use my spatula to try to even it out, get it into the corners, pat it down to fill in any air pockets. The soap batter is starting to thicken up a little bit, but still easy to work with. And now I'm going to wipe the sides, clean it up a bit, give it a good shake, and try to pat it down and really disperse that to make it nice and flat on top and evenly dispersed. So now I am going to place my brown dinosaurs on the top. I am going to try to make 10 bars of soap out of this soap block. So I'll place my 10 large dinosaurs on top. And the soap batter is just thick enough to be able to hold them on top, but I gotta be careful not to press down too hard. We don't want them to sink. And then right next to them, I'm gonna place teeny tiny little baby dinosaurs to match the larger dinosaurs. And this was a little bit trickier just because of how small they are. Thankfully, my timing seems to be right because they are not sinking down into the soap batter. They're just sitting on top. So I'm really thankful for that. Once I get them all in place, I use my skewer to try to create what looks like grass on top, just to give it more texture on the very top. I'm just wiping the skewer on a paper towel in between to get the excess off so I can make a even cohesive design down the entire loaf mold. And I'm happy with how that looks, so I set the soap aside for 24 hours so that way it can harden up overnight before I unmold it. Wow, look how cool these came out. I was hoping to get some cocoa powder brown in here to look like dirt and a little bit of spirulina in here to get some green grass, the little dinosaurs on top. So mission accomplished. I did hide some little dinosaurs inside, and I definitely cut some where you can see the little hidden dinosaurs. So as you wash, you'll actually get to the little tiny dinosaur. I tried to match them to the dinosaur on top so that you get a little stegosaurus or a little brontosaurus to match, or a little triceratops. Now hopefully I did it correctly where there is a baby dinosaur inside each one, but it is hard to get that just right to be able to cut it and have it all lined up. But it smells really good with the lavender and cedarwood atlas. The little T-Rex is adorable. I'm looking forward to giving these a try once they are cured. This bar came out super thick. This is gonna be a really nice bar of soap. So thank you for hanging out with me today. And if you haven't started soaping yet, what are you waiting for? Get your soap on. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos like this. It really helps my channel. Thanks.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want to farm? A wicked awesome farm. Watch this channel to learn what to do. We love to farm and we'll show you. Yeah.